welcome back, everybody, to the Fifth Line Podcast. Everybody is back here once again. Just less than 1 week, 5 days or so from Christmas. We're all excited, as you can see. Got my Santa hat on.
I do have a Canadian Santa hat in the other room, but I'm hot right now, so.
How unjolly of you.
Yeah. Well, we were complaining about no news for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then the NHL decided to say, fuck you, then take it all.
Take all the news. And we're going to start off with some sad news.
Yes.
Some confusing news, because I don't think anybody knows actually what the problem is.
Right.
Lundqvist to miss the season, the entire season that he just signed a $1.5 million deal for about a month or two.
Yep.
With some sort of heart condition. I don't know what that could be.
Right.
But
the one thing about the wording of his statement that made me think something was that he was like, me and my doctors decided if I'm not recovered in time, it would be too dangerous to play. So that makes me think it's something that can be treated, and like he could maybe come back a season from now if he like really desperately wants to.
Yeah, I think he can come back.
Yeah. So there's that at least, but yeah, still terrible news, especially because it was going to be kind of interesting to see Henrik Lundqvist not with the, like, it would just be like it was going to be a weird thing, like Lundqvist not on the Rangers. And I mean, Washington's a good team, and of players that I would like to see get an actual shot at a cup. Well, I mean, he had 2014, and Kings had other ideas, but I would like to see him get a shot at a cup again. But it's sad.
Yeah. What if the Capitals win the cup?
That would suck.
That would be very, very bad.
Suck.
That'd be very, 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 very shite.
Yeah.
And now to some good news.
That's actually, that's a really good question. What if the oh man. Yeah, my brother's a Ranger
still
fan,
on the team, so he technically gets a ring, right? Or he still gets the...
you have to play games.
He's getting paid.
You have to play games, yeah.
Oh, I mean, actually, rings you can give to anybody. It's the name on the cup that you have to play games. Because the team just pays for the rings.
True.
Yeah, all the best to Henrik. But what were you saying about your brother?
Hopefully we see him again.
Rangers fan brother?
Oh yeah, my brother's a Ranger fan. Like he was like a Ranger fan in like the Callahan Rangers era.
Oh, nice.
So I guess like that's kind of like the Tortorella Rangers era, you know. But yeah, no, just seeing how, like, I don't know, even as an Islander fan, like, you know, like Lundqvist is like one of my favorite parts of that rivalry. Like he just always fun to watch him play. Like yes, it's fun to beat him, but like just like class guy, always has some sweet gear too. And yeah, all the best to him. Hope he's doing okay.
Hopefully, hopefully he recovers.
Yeah.
All right, and on to some fun news. Now, I would like to talk about the Lightning a little bit later on. But we're going to start with a little snippet here. Steven Stamkos rocks into the playoffs, plays his 2.5 minutes, gets his goal, wins the cup, and is now being awarded with the Sports Illustrated Play of the Year for that one goal.
Wow.
I didn't know it was a thing either, but there he goes. He won it.
Good for him.
Which is kind of nuts considering it's a hockey. It's an American publication giving a year a yearly award to like a hockey player. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Showing
hockey
you,
in America is like fourth or fifth on the list of things.
It's getting more popular. It's getting more popular. Like I feel like basketball is trending downward and hockey is trending upward. That's the way I've felt it's been. Football is still.
If any league is in a lot of trouble, it's probably the MLB over anything, just because audience hasn't really changed in a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
Not really though. They're
looks like they're fine.
Still can go, like people don't watch the MLB on TV, but you walk into really like any of the more prestigious teams like stadiums, they're always packed. I've been to multiple Yankee games and you're sitting out in the bleachers and it's still like people still go. It's not like they're
Well, yeah, but
The
anybody that's
MLB
going
is,
to a
they
sport
also
game
pay
in
them.
person-
They also can pay their players the most out of every league, so they obviously they don't have revenue issues if they can pay guys, hundreds
true.
of like $300 million over 10 years. So
I'm not saying they're like in the basement. I'm just saying their like main demographics are like 40 to 50-year-old men, and
They
it
will
hasn't
die
really
eventually.
changed. Like they have not had much success in terms of getting a younger audience. Something the NHL probably has to work on too, but yeah.
Dude, the only sport that doesn't have to worry about that is freaking Fortnite.
Basketball done a pretty good job of promoting themselves. The
To
NBA 's
young people,
in a
I
pretty
guess,
good
yeah.
spot, yeah. But cool.
Well,
Good
so-
for Stammer.
Yep, that's right.
So, yeah,
one
wait, speaking
goal
of
on
that-
one knee and a prayer, or what was his injury?
Yeah.
It was.
It was a knee. Was it not?
No, it was a groin. It was a groin
Okay.
thing, and he. It was like
So
a core. It
one
was like
nut and a prayer.
it was a core muscle, and then he tore something when he went around. Man, I don't even remember which defenseman it
Lindell.
was. Oh, Lindell, yeah.
I think it was
When
Essa
he-
Lindell, right?
Yeah, when he
Lindell.
snuck by him on the boards, I watched a video of him telling the story, and he was like, I went around Lindell and I just felt something tear.
Yeah,
So I
that'll
was
do
like,
it.
oh, jeez.
What's the quickest way to get off the ice? I'm just gonna go.
Just
Far
score.
corner. No
Just
big
score, yeah.
deal. All
Just put it
right.
But
Yeah, wait. Speaking of that, though, speaking of that, so yeah, it is rare, right, for a hockey play to get play of the year. But like, can you guys? Because I don't like Nick. I know you're. I guess I don't know. Out of all of us, Nick, you probably watch like the most. Like you watch basketball and baseball, right?
he watches
So
a
I-
greater variety.
yeah,
Yeah.
I watched probably the most
Yeah.
variety. Yeah, I mean, I'm watching a football game
Yeah.
right now. while we're
Wait,
on
so
it,
so can you think of any plays though? Like the Stamkos play is amazing, but can you think of any other plays that I don't know, like maybe that it can compete with? I do feel like the Stamkos one is obviously with like you come in for 2 minutes and you score. You're the captain of your team. You've never won a cup, so that's pretty awesome. But
you're never gonna see, like, unless it's some crazy catch in baseball, you're never gonna see it come out of that. Hoops, I don't think hoops was such a short season. I don't think that they had really anything like mind blowing. And I haven't watched a lot of football this year, but there's nothing that, like, if there was something crazy that happened in football, I would have known about it. And I haven't, and I don't recall anything like super mind blowing, like the Stammer thing coming out,
Yeah.
Coming off an injury, going out, scoring,
Going
and then
out,
going
yeah.
back out.
It definitely had a nice narrative.
I-
I'm looking at the list right now of the nominees, like all the nominees. We had
okay.
so Nick, you'll know who this is. I have no idea. Alec Mills no-hitter on September 13th. Obviously, it's a pitcher of
Okay.
some kind.
Yep.
Bam. Oh no. Bam Adebayo block in the NBA Finals Game 1. I didn't see one single second of NBA Finals.
Didn't
Time.
watch a second of NBA either.
John Rahm's 66-footer in the BMW Championship. I'm assuming that means a putt. So he made a long friggin' putt.
Fucking butt, my god.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that
see
was that. You remember that one that was like it was really far away and it broke down the hill with. It was right. It was before the Masters.
Yeah.
I think it was a couple tournaments right before the Masters. You know what could have been on that list though? The one that he skipped across the water in the warm-ups for the Masters.
Yes,
That was a
yes,
nice
it really
shot.
could have.
That
If
was
that
crazy.
hadn't been in the warm-ups, it probably would have won.
Yeah.
And then it was Stamkos's goal. But yeah.
For Stamkos.
Wait, Alec Mills is on the Cubs.
On the Cubs, yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
No hitters aren't that Was it a no hitter or a perfect game?
It says no hitter.
No hitters aren't that like crazy.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
regular season no hitter too, so it happened.
Yeah, I don't see anything on there that could have beat the goal, baby.
Now, if that game
Yeah.
would have been a perfect game, that would have been a different story. But no hitters
Yeah.
are just like they're so common now. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're common, like they happen all the time, but like
Listen to this
they
guy.
seem to happen more and more often now.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, didn't get any hits, no big one.
No big.
but
I
you
did
can
it the
still,
other
like-
day.
Well, the difference between a perfect game and a no hitter is, you can still walk guys or hit batters on a no hitter,
Mhm.
and they can still get on base. A perfect game is not letting anybody
Nobody
on base
gets on
ever.
base.
So, yeah. No errors and nothing too. Yeah. So.
Speaking of errors, no, I'm just kidding. Alexander Steen retires.
What?
No errors. I was kidding. It was a joke. But Alexander Steen retires. He's a name that's really recognizable, but I don't know why, because I looked at his stats and they're not
I
mind-blowing.
mean, he's
I mean,
a
they're
good
good.
player.
They're
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Wait,
I'm just
real quick.
yeah.
Alexander Steen story. So the first time I heard of his name, I think it was it the 2013 what lockout? The Blackhawks won, but it was like the West only played Western teams and the East.
That was in
And the
that was
East only
2012,
played-
2013 when there was just
Yeah.
48 games, and the Blackhawks
So
had a 21 game point streak at the beginning of the year. It was fucking nuts.
I thought, was it that? Maybe I might be getting this totally wrong, but the first time I remember hearing about Alex Steen was when in his first 20 games of a season, and I thought it was that season. He scored 20 goals.
What?
I want to look that up right now.
Pretty fucking good.
Man, I don't
Hold on
know.
a
I don't
second.
remember hearing that.
I mean,
This is his career ended. He had 1,018 games played, 245 goals, 377 assists for 622 points, and he had the Stanley Cup in 2019 with the Blues.
that's like 0.6 points a game. That's pretty
Yeah, I
fucking
guess-
good.
I guess
you
that's
take
pretty
that
good.
player on your team. But yeah, I mean, I was never hit a Leafs or Blues fan, so I don't really have a ton to say about Alex Steen. But
Yeah.
any guy that can make 1,000 games in the NHL is in pretty
good.
company, and he got his cup, so I imagine that probably helped make the choice to retire a little easier. But good for him, long career. I mean, if there was ever a time it would make sense to retire if you were ready,
Right now.
I'd probably do it right now too. Yeah, I'd probably be like, I got my cup 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I had this career. We're fine. So good for him.
Any lead on that story, Eric?
Yeah, no, not yet. But I do specifically remember it. Hold on one second. I wonder if I can on my computer, so you guys can probably still see me.
Oh yeah, we see you. We see you, bud.
Oh
Um,
boy.
I'd like to move on while we wait for that though. Nick,
Yeah.
this is something you could speak on a little bit. Duclair finally found a home
He did
in the
and
far south.
with the Florida Panthers. Yeah, a little bit completely opposites going from up north down to Florida to play.
Yep.
1.7 for 1 year. At
Oh,
least he
when-
got a contract.
That's
I'm
not
gonna say,
bad.
I'm guessing that one in Ottawa was probably more money and more term though.
Yeah, I think if we
Yes, I believe
we
so.
talked about it in an earlier episode. I want to say it was I think he wanted to get five a year, and I think they offered him 3.5 for 3 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that Ottawa deal would have been way more money, but
Yeah.
he didn't get it. So
Ottawa's fun.
I'm a little
Ottawa's
salty. I
fun
wish he was
reporting.
still gonna.
Dude,
Oh,
I wish he still would have signed back with them. But hey, good for him. Hopefully he has just a good a year down in Florida, and maybe they'll sign him back after that. Who knows? Because he's gonna
Yeah,
be back on the
so
market. So we could be talking
Ottawa
about this
was-
again next year. So
could be. Yeah.
Ottawa was offering 3.25 mil a season, which is
Four.
just shy of twice as much.
Four.
Let me see. I wasn't looking. Let me see
I think
if
it
how
was
many
3 years.
3 years.
offered. Offered.
Either way,
I don't know. Anyway,
I-
still,
either-
would've been doing
either-
better.
either way, he's getting less money, definitely less term, and arguably he's on a worse team. In my mind.
I mean, Florida and Ottawa are a lot closer to each other this year than they were last, but
Yeah. I think if you've got
Maybe.
I don't know. I think if Matt Murray gets back to old Matt Murray. I think Ottawa's a lot better than people think they are.
That is a big if, because he wasn't just bad against the Habs. He was bad all year last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's definitely young enough where
It
it
was
could
a year
happen.
ago. He had plenty of time off. He's 28 years old or something like that. He's
Oh,
still,
that was a year ago.
he's 4 years older than
Oh,
me.
no, it wasn't.
So
I'm interested to see. That's another time. Okay, we do have a confirmed season now, which is exciting
It is.
because it
very
wasn't
much
confirmed before. We got a 56. It's basically the same as the unconfirmed from last week.
It's what everybody was thinking.
last-
it was
yeah.
gonna be.
The only-
But yeah.
The only thing I will say is that the divisions that we discussed from last week have changed a slight bit, and Nick had a correct insight, and Dallas was shoved into the Central Division. So now we have both
That
Stanley
makes sense.
Cup final teams in the same division. So
Good.
I think there
Okay.
could be a rivalry there. So the Lightning aren't going to be able to walk all over in that division as much as they could have before.
Yeah, that does shake it up a bit.
but the
'cause
Avalanche will walk
otherwise-
all over their side.
Oh my god.
No,
yeah, they
no, the
will.
Avalanche have to go against
Oh.
Vegas.
Yeah, they got Vegas
Yeah.
and St. Louis there. But I mean, they are gonna just Anaheim, Arizona, LA,
Yeah, it's not
Minnesota,
good.
San Jose.
It's
they're
there's like
just gonna
three. There's the three
walk over
teams,
them.
and then the others are just like
Yeah.
And with the Central, there's Tampa and Dallas probably at the top, but then like Carolina's a pretty decent team. Nashville's still pretty decent. They're definitely not what they once were.
yeah.
Detroit's
was-
terrible. Chicago's not great. Florida's not great. Columbus is sneaky good.
Yeah.
And with the addition of Domi, they shored up their center like situation a lot more. It'll take a little bit of weight off of Pierre-Luc Dubois. Wouldn't shock me if Columbus could do some stuff, just because they don't have the highest skill level, but they will outwork the hell out of you half the
They
time.
will tortorella you to death.
Yeah, and it can work.
Yeah.
I do appreciate them for that. They
hate
make the best of what they have. I know you have your own memories associated with that team, Mike,
They,
but
they can suck an egg is what they can do.
But Mike, you could argue if Tampa didn't have that crushing defeat, would they want to win the Stanley Cup as badly as they did in that bubble?
I think if they don't get swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets, I don't think they win the cup because they
yeah,
came
like
back
if you just
a
have
whole
another
different
year
team.
where, yeah, if you just have another year where they just win a round or two and then get bounced or whatever, it's like, okay, well, we did our part, whatever. But then you get friggin' embarrassed like that.
The mirror was held up by the Columbus Blue Jackets to show them that you are not a tough playoff team. And John Cooper said, "All right, well, hold my beer."
Well, more like Braden Point said, "Hold my beer."
And then Braden Point,
true.
Braden Point, Cooch.
You think
You
we don't have
can't
enough offensive firepower? Yeah, just
You can't even point to that. Like, you can't even point to one player on that team, which you never really can. Like for a Stanley Cup champion team, there's always multiple players. But like Vasi did his part. Hedman was a beast. Cooch had the most points in the playoffs for anybody. Like, there's
Pour
just
one
so many.
out for fucking Buffalo though, 'cause Buffalo and New Jersey.
Yeah, that's a rough division there.
That's not gonna be fun for them,
No.
unless they surprise me a lot. But
If Buffalo can find a goalie, or
There's none
one
left.
of those two guys can rejuvenate themselves, and Carter Hutton can play good, or I can't remember
Well,
who the other guy is.
Very big
it's
if.
Linus Ullmark, and isn't I thought he was supposed to be good, but
he was
is he-
thing
he's
at
like
some point.
he's like
But,
not
I don't
right
like,
now.
think he's like I don't think he's like a top. He's obviously not a top tier, but I don't think he's like
No.
an everyday starter.
no,
Like he's
He's
gonna be
better-
a platoon
better
goalie.
used
Carter
as
Hutton is
a-
not
yeah.
the guy to play with.
they have two. They have well, Carter Hutton's more of like a 1B. Like I could see him working in a more regular tandem situation. And Linus
But he
Ullmark is
needs-
just a backup goalie.
He's just a 2.
So like, yeah. So, and I don't know how you can justify coming out of this summer without fixing that goalie situation. I think I yelled about this a couple episodes ago. But
Well-
like, it was the biggest goalie market there has been in years, and they did nothing.
Well, you got to think again, that's probably due to pandemic issues and money issues because they've got so much money wrapped up in a lot of their players. Their cap situation is worse than you might think. You've got- Like Jack Eichel is
Yeah,
worth
but
the money that
Pagulas
he's
have
making.
money. Like the Pagulas
Yeah, I
have
was saying
money,
they can
so, like,
spend.
It's not like,
That's not an
it's not like
issue.
they have an issue.
But the cap space would be the thing. They still have 3.4 million in cap space.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess
Get
that's
rid
not
of
bad.
like a $1 or $2 million contract and open up some space, and you could maybe even get a really good goalie. I don't know. Or
Ben,
maybe
how
you
much
go
do
to
they
a team
owe?
like Vegas, and maybe go to a team like Vegas who really wants to get
to get rid of
maybe at
Fleury.
least most of Fleury's contract out. If you can get them to retain some because they need the cap space, then there you go. You got Marc-Andre Fleury, who's still
I
a
think-
capable goalie.
I think that's the only way they could have grabbed someone is by a trade because I don't think
Nobody's signing
anybody
in
I don't
Buffalo.
think anybody
No.
wants to just go play in Buffalo.
No. Although, I mean, except Taylor Hall for some
Except
fucking
Taylor-
reason.
Nah, dude.
I-
Taylor Hall just was
out of
looking for anywhere
everyone.
that would take him.
He could have gotten a contract somewhere else. It wouldn't have been $8 million, but he could
That's
have gotten
that's
a
what it
contract
is.
somewhere else.
He wants his damn money.
Well, that's I don't know.
I'm not saying it's smart. I'm not saying it's what I would have done. I'm just saying I think that might be where his head was at.
But Nick, what were you about to say to me a second ago?
I don't remember.
You started saying something.
It wasn't that important. If
He was
I
supposed
can't
to tell you
remember.
to shut the hell up. That's what he was gonna say.
I mean, I feel like I'm surprised you guys don't do that more often.
Nah.
Real quick.
We do that enough off podcast.
That's
So
fair.
it wasn't that for the Alex Steen thing.
Oh, we got it. We got it.
So yeah, the 2013-2014 season. I'm just gonna. This is straight from Wikipedia, but so during that season, he was the first star of the month for October, having the best start of his NHL career. He scored 11 goals, and had 16 points in the team's 10 games played for the month. So 11 goals,
Jesus.
16 points. Yeah, really. And
That's
I was
good.
like,
Yeah.
who is this guy? Yeah, and I was like, who is this guy? Just out of nowhere. And here we go, Mike. He was the NHL's leading goal scorer on November 7th. He was tied with Alex Ovechkin and Steven Stamkos early in the season,
Wow.
which is
okay.
crazy. Yeah, and like that's 2013-2014. So like Alex
That's
Ovechkin and Steven Stamkos then. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was I think that was close to Stamkos' 60 goal year, whenever that was.
Yeah.
Can't
Yep.
remember exactly, but it's still
Um,
nuts to me that he has one of those. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And on November 16th, he scored his NHL leading 17th goal. So basically October and November Steen in that
And that year,
2013-2014 season was just unstoppable. Yeah,
He
he
was really
he
good.
played really well. Yeah. I think that was his career high in goals too that season. I think it was 33. I was looking at the stats. I think it's 33.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which so
Still.
props to Steen for having that one really good season. And again too, like just being not a standout guy, but definitely like a depth playoff guy who's been there, done
Yeah.
that, plays well two ways.
Any like
And-
like I said before, 1,000 games. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
good
shortgut
longevity.
that. He
Tough, yeah.
played in the world's best hockey league for quite some time, so good for him. But before we move on from return to season stuff, there was a couple other things. As we were kind of saying before, yes, everybody's playing within division, and that's it. In all of the American divisions, the teams will play each other 8 times. Like you'll play each team 8 times. And then in the Canadian one, which they're calling the North Division, they'll play each team in the division 9 or 10 times because there's only 7 teams in that one instead of 8. So
Yeah.
it'll be a little weirder. But I'm very excited for 9 or 10 games against the Leafs. That's gonna be freaking nuts.
That's crazy, yeah.
There has not been any kind of like actual rivalry there for some time. And if there was ever a season that's going to make that happen, it's this one.
I think.
And same way with the Edmonton Calgary, they have that rivalry already. It's pretty awesome already. We're gonna get 9 to 10 games of Edmonton Calgary this year.
There's gonna be some arrests, I think.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be.
They're gonna have to bring in the damn Mounties onto the ice.
Yeah. And as of right now, everybody's still saying it's gonna be within their own arenas. But if like one of the things they posted, I'm looking at right here, is like if COVID gets bad enough, if the situation changes enough, they are prepared to do neutral site bubbles, essentially. Like, go back to what they did last for the playoffs. Like they're prepared to do that again.
Okay.
So
makes sense. If they continue to play in their own arenas, which I'm hoping for, hopefully vaccines get out, hopefully numbers go down. This is what I saw on. There was a story about the Emily Arena plan for having live spectators and such. They have their things. Their whatever their plan is to. Oh God, there's so much. Cashless, contactless concession. So that's cool.
Which means what?
Like
the little like bump your phone thing.
Probably
on their phone
thing, or you just stick your card in, pull the card out.
Just treat every card purchase as credit. So you
don't have to do the pin or anything. They got a whole bunch of sanitizing stations, mobile ticket stuff, so you don't actually buy tickets at the thing now, which I don't know if anybody even did that anymore.
I mean, I don't. We just had them because my grandpa gets season tickets, and it's cool to get like like the physical things as like keepsakes. But yeah, no. Generally, when I buy anyone's otherwise, it's always mobile.
It's all like online, like SeatGeek or something.
I love SeatGeek. Yeah.
Plug for SeatGeek.
Yeah.
You want to
yeah.
Listen, you can't do that because then they won't. They'd be like, "Oh, for free advertising. They don't even care." And then their last thing, which sounds like the least fun of all, is masking at all times unless eating or drinking, which I would just have I just have a drink all the time and just be drinking constantly.
I mean, it's the right move. You gotta, but yeah, it'll be different. But was there anything in there about reduced like capacity, or are they just
no? But No, I didn't see anything. I didn't read it super close, but they've.
I got to imagine.
I feel like that goes without saying.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
if you're
who the fuck knows?
If you're fully masking at all times, they're going to be doing social distancing at the same time. So there'll be less capacity for sure.
I got to imagine like in any of the arenas where on average, I mean it varies, but like they tend to be between like 15 to 20,000. You're probably going to see in the smaller ones like 3 to 5, and then the bigger ones maybe like 6 or 7,000 people is my guess. But
go down to like 30%.
Yeah, I mean, and because I feel like it's not important in sports, whatever. You should probably like in the grand scheme of things, is it the biggest deal to have people in there? No, but like if you distance people out enough, and if you have everybody have masks on, like if you can actually ensure all of that. I feel like there's realistic ways you could make it safe.
Dude, absolutely.
They're giant. Are huge.
They're giant.
Yeah, NHL arenas are huge.
There's
so as
no
long as you
problem.
can get the spacing, as long as you can get the spacing done, I think it should be okay.
Like NFL right now, they're letting some population back in. I think the Saints game had like 3,000 people in there, and you looked around the stadium and there was like nobody there.
Right, because those are massive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, look at a hockey arena. If you like, it's not that hard to figure out the spacing on that. Like, every like fourth seat, and just have them like alternating the way up through the sections, and then you have your distance that you need. You know, like
yeah.
If anything, I think they're probably gonna make. I don't know. They're probably gonna find some way to do clusters of some sort because like people go to games with people.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it's gonna look like, but I'm sure they'll have some method of doing that.
Not that I'll be going, because that's a long ways from where I am.
Yeah, and even if the Habs have in-game stuff, which I think will be very unlikely because Quebec is getting hammered right now in terms of COVID. But even if they
Come
did,
on,
I
Justin.
Dude,
wouldn't be able to.
everywhe's getting hammered, man.
Yeah,
It's not just,
it's
it's
winter,
literally
it's flu
everywhere.
season. But it's not even like within Canada, Quebec is doing particularly bad. But I wouldn't be able to get over there anyway. So,
Yeah.
which
have to
is
s-
really
you have
sad.
to
I haven't
sneak
been to
across in the
Montreal
woods.
since February, and I don't know what to do.
Ooh.
Like, it's the longest I've ever not been in Canada. It's weird.
Just
How
like
have your grandparents been faring out over there? They've been stranded over there for a year.
It's been weird for them. They're
Yeah, like,
planning on
right
flying
now
down to
they're usually
Florida after the new year, which I would not bring my grandma anywhere near an airport if I were them, because she is
Or
the single
Florida.
most immunocompromised, or she is like the single most immunocompromised
right.
person
Florida.
I've ever met.
yeah, that's a choice.
She just had a friggin' kidney removed because she had cancer again. Like, I don't know about that plan. But they said they wanted to get out of Montreal. I was like, go to Burke. They have a house in Burke. There's nobody there. Go to
You
Burke.
can't. What would they do? Fly to Plattsburgh?
Yeah, you can
'Cause you
fly.
Yeah,
which
that's so weird. You can fly, but you can't
You can
drive.
fly.
Like,
So as long as
okay.
you have enough money to buy flights, you can travel.
Like, yeah, so
but-
they go from Montreal to the hottest state in the U.S. Yeah, good.
I mean,
good
Montreal's
idea.
quite bad too right now. It's not, but yeah, hopefully it won't go badly. Did you have anything else on Emily?
No, but I want to real quick touch on just the Lightning situation, because they're still in the same situation, but now we have a concrete date. So
Yeah,
literally
so you
by
gotta actually
basically by the end of this week, they need to either shed some cap. Well, no, they need to shed some cap by the end of this week. They have
either way they gotta shed some cap.
they're 2 million over. And if they want to sign the 2 RFAs, they're gonna have to get rid of like 7 million,
Stamkos.
9 million of cap at least, probably.
So basically, by Christmas time, the Lightning are gonna give a team a really nice Christmas present. Another team. in the
They're gonna
NHL.
have Stamkos dealt somewhere, and Mike's gonna be a sad boy for Christmas.
Oh,
Ooh, is
I don't-
McDonough for 6.75?
I don't want to be a sad boy.
well, Mike. You could look at it this way: like any player that gets traded, you can get their jersey discounted. Like that's pretty cool.
Hey Ben, when is
He
the
already just got
NHL
his
gonna
hammer one.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that, Nick? When's the NHL? What?
When's the NHL gonna adopt a luxury tax so teams don't have to deal with this as much? Because like, pretty sure like NBA, you can be over your cap, but you're paying against the cap.
You're-
for being over it. Like,
You're expecting the NHL to have any sense of forethought and like want to like think towards the future.
Oh, Are you talking about like in baseball where you can be as far over the cap as you want, basically, and you just gotta pay
Well,
the league money?
Does baseball even
yeah, you
have a
still
salary
pay
cap?
tax. I don't think so. I think
Yeah,
the
that's it.
NBA is the one that has luxury tax. that
luxury
everybody
tax,
kinda
yeah.
knows about.
Yeah, because that would make. I mean, you'd still like the luxury tax money would still probably get redistributed to some of the smaller teams. Like they would find a way to do that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
because
don't-
essentially it's penalizing that team for being over what they can be at. So like,
Yeah.
you got to give it back to.
It says right here. Oh, what the hell? 208 million was the MLB salary cap. Oh wait, no, that says luxury tax. What the frig? Oh, it does not have one. Okay, never mind. I don't understand the difference, but I don't need
They
to.
have a salary cap, but they don't have a luxury tax. I don't know. Baseball's weird.
So yeah, I think I'm interested to see what the Lightning do. I'm scared to see who we're gonna lose, because we're gonna lose somebody.
Yeah, somebody's on their way
well,
out.
the big thing that we were talking about was Tyler Johnson, right? He's what, 5 mil? He's locked up at.
He's not.
They
he's,
just sent that
he's-
man through waivers.
he'll be
People
on
could have
team.
had him for
he is.
free.
Oh.
He is at 5 million.
Nobody
he will,
wanted
he
him.
will. He will
Yeah.
still be on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will still be on the team.
I mean, if you can maybe find a way to have somebody take Tyler Johnson at 2 or 3 mil, and
Yeah.
you
Get rid of some
retain
of
the
it.
rest, then maybe.
I mean, that's one thing they could do is they could send him to like, why is my enter key loose? They could send him to like Detroit, retain like 2 million retain 2 million of the salary. That would get them below the line, and then they would just have to lose the 2 RFAs.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not great. You're not in a great spot. I'd rather be in a bad cap spot directly after winning a Stanley Cup than
That is true.
than any other time. Like, hey,
Be in a
it's
bad
a
cap
trade-off.
spot after you lose the Stanley Cup in the Cup Finals. That would have been even worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Why is
like,
is that what Dallas is doing?
I don't think they're.
No, Dallas isn't in that.
I think they're fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
That's it's an interesting time to be a Bolts fan. I'll say that. A good time as well.
Oh, I think they'll be fine.
Oh yeah, they'll be, because here's
They'll
the thing.
find some way.
Even if they get rid of Stamkos, as sad as I'll be, that basically gets rid of any need for like a rebuild.
Yeah.
Because they're set right now with young talent. As long as they keep that young talent around, and then you'll get prospects and such for Steven Stamkos, which gets their future looking even better. So it's like, there's really no negative to getting rid of Stamkos except for like emotional negative.
Other than how much it'll hurt your heart.
Yep. Just it'll make me
Merry
emotional.
Christmas. You lose your favorite player.
That's
Merry
the other
Christmas.
thing. Yeah.
Hope you enjoy that jersey.
I think we are about to see, just now we have a date. We're gonna see a big push, and because I mean, when do training camps even
They're not
start?
the only team.
Actually, yeah, they're all that too. They're not the only team in a bad spot. They're not the only team that still has a whole lot left to figure out.
Training camps should be beginning of the year.
Right. Yeah. So they got
We
about
talked about Arizona
11
a handful of
days.
times.
They got about 11 days for everybody to figure everything out. So I think we're about to get pretty crazy time.
Which actually,
bet-
that's.
I bet you they either do it early this week. They're gonna figure their shit out early this week, or it's gonna be
After
early
Christmas.
next week, because obviously Christmas and then New Year's. But it's not gonna be. It's gonna be between Monday and Wednesday of this week and Monday and Wednesday of the following week. You're not gonna see anything in those
I agree.
last couple days of each week.
I agree. Oh man, I don't have a story. Does anyone have a story?
I don't really have a story, but I moved to a new apartment and I'm really excited about it.
I have a story.
Really nice.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, Eric coming in.
Eric coming in
I
hot.
have a
Let's
story.
go. Let's hear it.
So Ben was here for this. So all right, remember when we went skating on the Bell Center ice?
Yes.
The first time. Well, I went for the first time. This was one of your many times.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this. So I was like, I'm gonna wear an Islanders hoodie because, like, you know, like other people will be there with like different team hoodies. It's Montreal, Eric. What are you doing? And so like I was the only one, and I'm like, oh, I like stick out like a sore thumb. Anyway, we're skating around, and Youppi is there, right, skating with everyone. For those that don't know, that's the Canadiens mascot. If you can edit a picture of him in here, that'd be beautiful.
It's right there. It's
he's
there
a-
right now.
If you don't know who
It's there
Youppi
right now.
is,
Beautiful.
go fuck yourself.
You don't know who Youppi is? Picture a less crazy Gritty.
Gritty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
he's like Gritty's classier cousin.
He's Gritty is American and Youppi's Canadian. It makes perfect sense. But anyway, so what year was this? I don't know if it was 20. It was a year though. The Islanders didn't make the playoffs. The Habs didn't make the playoffs. I'm skating around, and Youppi sees me and skates up to me and just looks at my sweatshirt and is just like, and I'm like, listen, man. Both of our teams didn't make the playoffs this year, so cut me some slack. And he just goes, he nods, and then he just skates off. And I'm like, that's the most Canadian thing ever. Like,
That's funny.
I was gonna get chirped for it, but then I used some reasoning, and he respected it. So that's
I mean,
it. That's the story.
unless you're wearing like a Leafs or a Bruins
yeah,
jersey, you're
or
not
a
gonna
Bru-
get any beef.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we don't have anything to like Islanders. It's like
Like,
all
yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah,
Remember
sure.
when we went in with Josh that one time? Josh
Yes,
wore a
and he
Bruins.
wore a Bruins
Oh,
jersey, and didn't he like fake
oh.
I
fist
wore a
fight with
Dallas
Yuppie?
jersey too.
Yeah, he did. I think he did.
He got into like a little mock fist fight with Yuppie. It was pretty great. They had it on
I
the
remember I wore a
jumbotron for a
Dallas
while.
jersey that day, too.
Did you wear a Dallas jersey?
Yeah, he wore the Dallas Madonna one that I think I ended up giving to Brian. Right,
Nice.
Madano.
Madonna.
Dano.
Dude, can we talk
Yeah,
about? Can we talk about the NHL's top 16 forwards
It's bad.
and how Patrick Kane is number 9 and Austin Matthews is number 10?
That's just wrong. Like, I mean, maybe not prime Patty Kane, but even then,
Your prime Patrick Kane is probably just ever so slightly above right now Austin Matthews.
right.
And that's 22-year-old Austin Matthews. He's 1
Yeah.
year younger than us.
As much as it pains me to say
Oh,
it, Austin
my
Matthews is friggin' amazing. He regularly makes Carey Price's bitch sad. He's better. Like that's but like yeah, it doesn't shock me. The
understand.
NHL consistently overrating Blackhawks players. What?
Why?
What?
Why?
Because they're a big market that get a lot of American eyeballs.
What the
and
frig?
an original 16. It's
That's
an
true,
original
they are-
16,
they
right?
are
So
original
like
16.
the NHL, right?
Yeah.
They've done this before though.
I better start
They did
seeing some
something
highly
similar with
rated
Kane.
Lightning players.
They did something
that
similar
mean?
with Kane and Taves like a couple years ago.
Yeah, it
They
was the
ranked
top
them, like-
100.
It was.
Oh, the
it
top,
Yeah,
the
it
top
was.
100. Yeah.
It wasn't like Duncan Keith
Yeah,
on
they
that
had
list.
those two in it.
But no Jerome McGinley.
No Jerome McGinley. There was a lot of
No Evgeny
there was a lot
Malkin.
of crazy. Yeah, there was
Come
a
on,
lot of
dude.
crazy ones there where it was like,
It was dumb.
That's
but
debatable.
yeah,
No
Well, I think-
Ron
are
Hainsey.
an absolute
Oh,
legend.
Cody
An
Ceci.
absolute legend of the game, Ron Hainsey.
Dude, oh wait, who was
Dion
the
Wasn't Ron Hainsey like?
who was John Scott, dude? Where's John Scott?
True.
Oh shit.
Did more for the game than Patrick Kane ever did. Come on.
Didn't John Scott actually fight Patrick Kane at the fake fight Patrick
Yeah.
Kane at the AllStar
Is
Game?
that what
too.
happened?
Yeah.
That's
that
funny.
was cool. That was one of the most fun All-Star games I
It's-
think ever.
Honestly, yeah, I think that's the one I've enjoyed the most. Like, cause it was, for fuck's sake, they actually like let fun happen.
Yeah.
Like they just let something that like kind of grew with the fans go ahead and happen instead of trying to NHL everything. But
Yeah. You guys want to wrap it up? I think
I think we're good.
I
Yeah.
think that's pretty good. See, I told you it was going to be a swift one. Nice and swift.
Before we wrap it up, Jaromir Jagr is still playing professional hockey at 48.
Still playing professional
I saw that
hockey,
news.
even
Yeah,
it's in a Czech league, right? Some Czech
yeah,
league.
yeah.
But
He came
hey,
back
good
for
him.
for another season at 48, and that's I feel like
Yep.
we got to end it with Jagr, the legend.
48. That is wow.
There was a really awesome quote I saw the other day. Somebody tweeted out was from him was like, "What else am I gonna do? As soon as I quit hockey, everything after that's gonna suck. So I'm probably just gonna try to play hockey till I die. What else am I gonna do? Just get old, fat, and ugly? No, I'm gonna keep playing." It was great. He's just a
Perfect.
gem of a man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But
All right.
next
well,
week we are taking a break. Correct.
I was
Right.
going to talk
Yes.
to you guys after and see what you wanted to do, but yeah, we can take a break. But I think if some big news happens, I think I might jump on and do. If nobody else, I'll just jump on and do a solo thing. But
I
yeah.
mean, I
No.
will be back in Plattsburgh by then. I won't be at home still by the 27th. So if need be, we can hop on. But I wouldn't mind a little break off. But if someone
Okay.
gets some big stuff, that'd be good.
Sounds good.
I will be at home, so that it will be a at-home decision whether or not I bring my computer home. So
All right.
And I'm good for I'll be home too. If big news happens, I'm down to pod. If not, then we'll just chill.
All righty. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll
Good
see you
episode.
in the next one.